Welcome to our last Cultivating Creativity video for now. It might come back, I don't know. But what I have for you today is that grab 5 challenge from Crafty Meggy, and I'm showing you all of my 5 items. I literally just looked around my desk and pulled stuff off my desk. So I have things like paper clips, an acrylic piece that I just got from Color Cast Designs, one random puffy sticker from Pink Paisley, and some Felicity Jane trim. Very literally things that were just hanging out on my desk. And Flair, that little glass container of Flair. So I'm showing you here what kind of my plan is, what my idea is a little bit for this layout. There's going to be a lot of cutting on this layout. Starting with my background paper. So I have 2 sheets of this Maggie Holmes Chasing Dreams collection paper, but I don't want to waste even a smidgen, so I'm actually cutting a hole in the package, in the background paper I'm going to use. So I'm going to use that kind of aqua-y color, but I put a hole in it so I could fussy cut that butterfly out. So I'm just going to go ahead now and map my photos. I'm going to use a lot of 6x6 papers from a bunch of different collections mostly from the Gather and the Bloom collection by Maggie Holmes. So I matted both my photos, and now I'm cutting strips of all of these pattern papers, and I'm going to use this wood paper kind of like almost like a third photo, except it's going to house my title. And now I'm just cutting strips, lots of strips. So most of those papers you see to the left are going to get cut into strips, the loose ones, not the ones that are still in the pad. And I'm just going to cut them down, and I'm going to use them on my layout. The next thing I'm going to cut and cut and cut is this paper that has all these letters on it. So I'm going to take my time and find a B-O-Y-S for boys, and then I'm also going to go ahead and cut the first initials for both of my boys who are in this video. And the next cutting project, I told you lots and lots of cutting on this video, is I'm going to fussy cut my butterfly, and I keep his antennas. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on fussy cutting butterflies, and if you keep antennas or not. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. It really kind of just depends on how thick the antennas are drawn. If they're really thin, I'm chopping them off. But if I feel like I can get around them easily without, too much problem, then I go ahead and fussy cut around them. Just really depends on the butterfly. More fussy cutting of those pretty flowers, and now I'm going to go ahead and get to work creating my layout. So this is pretty much the page design. I'm going to use these 3 photos, or 2 photos, and this 4x6 piece of wooden paper that I cut, and I want these as high up on the page as I can get, while covering the hole that I made in my background paper. So that's my plan for picture placement. I want them pretty high up on the layout, but covering the hole. So now I'm going to take all of these different scraps. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give everything some ink with some vintage photo distress ink. And of course, I had to glue everything down before I put the vintage photo distress ink on it. Ugh. Seriously. So dippy I am. Anyway, next up is to go ahead and create some lines for my photos to sit on, like a little shelf maybe. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of patchwork and cut these strips, cut them smaller, cut them bigger. Make sure that all of the patterns are in the strips, but maybe not, in different amounts, and they're not touching. And so now I found, after I worked on that for a bit, I decided to put one more strip at the top of my page, and of course everything got inked. And now I'm going to go ahead and work on this third little block, and I'm going to start with that Color Cast Designs acrylic piece that says Photo Love. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab my staplers, and I'm going to faux staple my word here. That's right, faux staple. So I'm going to put a staple on the top, then I'm going to ink them up and glue them down so it looks like they're stapled to the page, but really they're not. And these little letter stickers are from October Afternoon. They're from the Daily Flash line, and they are the storybook font stickers, and I love, love, love them. Love them. Now I'm going to grab my second little item from my grab 5, and that is these paper clips. So cute, and they've been on my desk forever. I put them there because I thought they were super cute and I wanted to use them. They're like little stripy ones that you just get at the office supply store, and they just sat there in a little dish, so I grabbed them, and I'm going to end up using 2 of them. So now I'm deciding, where I want to put my butterflies. I'm going to use one of these gorgeous fringed butterflies from Meggy Holmes. This is also from the Chasing Dreams collection. This actually was a brand new product for me. I totally missed the bus and missed the boat. It sailed without me on the fringe hearts. And so when I wasn't able to get any, when I saw these fringe butterflies, I was determined. I was like, I am getting myself a pack of these. So I just bought a tiny little bit of that Chasing Dreams collection. I bought the butterflies and I think 6 papers, like 2 of each of my 3 favorite papers, and the ephemera pack. And that was it. And then I'm just going to mix them up with all of my other Meggy Holmes goodies because I love to mix and match my Meggy Holmes collections. I store them all together in one place, all the embellishments, all the papers, everything, and then I just mix and match and play with them, and I love them. One of my very favorite scrapbooking designers. So I'm going to go ahead now and apply this Felicity Jane pom-pom trim, and I'm going to create a little bit of an anchoring line, a definite definition between my embellishments and that little shelf below my photos, and then the top. So I left that pom-pom trim kind of sit there and really dry and get it adhered. I was so worried I was going to move it or spread glue everywhere. So I didn't cut it right away, and I just kind of left it sit there while I drew some trails. I drew a trail on this little puffy butterfly to pretty much to connect him to the rest of my title so that it looked like he was flying up from my title. And then I also drew a tail on that other butterfly I fussy cut. And instead of grabbing things like some Heidi Swap color shine or anything like that, I decided for my last little bit of embellishment I would go ahead and use this Coats upholstery thread, which is, I love this thread. It's gold, it's glittery, it's metallic, and it's a little bit thicker, and it wants to make little circles, like little curlicues, and I love that about it. It's super easy to kind of tangle up and place under things. So I'm going to place a little bundle of that thread in all 3 of my embellishment clusters, and then go ahead and staple them down just for some extra holding power. They are glued, but I decided I wanted a little extra holding power. And then I did add my last grab 5 item, which was that little flare at the bottom. I hope you have enjoyed this layout today. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and make sure you check out all the other girls' videos. Bye!